Durban is missing you. Let's take this time to recharge. Durban is waiting to welcome you after lockdown. Be energized by the ocean, beach and bush. Discover Durban's adventures and tranquility. Play on the promenade and put the fun back in your life. Enjoy a township experience. Do the Inanda Heritage Trail. Explore Durban's cultural diversity. Stay at home and plan to create new memories. Visit Durban online. Durban's warm hospitality awaits you.
It's the biggest women's football competition pertaining to clubs in the Southern Hemisphere. It is the CAF Champions League Women's Cosafa Qualifiers, as all roads lead to Cote d'Ivoire, of course, in November for the final of the Champions League. It is all about regional bragging rights, and come the 8th of September, we will know who are the queens of the SADC region. A very good and warm welcome to all our viewers from across the globe. I'm Baliskiti, so happy to be in your company once again to bring you day 2 of the Champions League qualifiers for the ladies. As always, we are bringing you all the action at the Sugar Ray Xulu Stadium in Durban. So if you are in and around the area, make sure you make your way down here to support women's football, of course. But of course, the action started yesterday. It was our day 1. It was all about Group A, and really bold. All 4 teams are sharing the spoils. 1-1 for all the teams is how things ended. Lesotho Defence made their return to the competition after missing out last year, and in Topa were the new kids on the block, and they were able to now walk away with the points. And of course, Double Action ladies as well salvaging a point in that game. And then this is what it meant in Group A after the first fixtures as well as the second fixture of the day. Double Action ladies is sitting at the top. Of course, it's going to come down to the second fixtures for these teams, as not really much separates the sides, but a good start from the sides overall. Well, let's now look at what we're going to bring you today, because it's all about Group B fixtures, as we are bringing you a double header as well. And these are now the fixtures that you can anticipate. We are starting things off with Costa de Sol, and they will be in action against Young Buffalo of Swaziland. And then later on, Mamelodi Sundowns will be in action against Olympic de Maroni. And these are the fixtures we are bringing you on linear TV, as well as all the streaming platforms where you can find us here, where you can find us and watch us here at the Cosafa Qualifiers. But of course, we caught up with some of the coaches regarding kickoff today. Let's hear what the coaches had to say ahead of kickoff today. Coach, appreciate your time. Last year was your first appearance. You had a bit of a tough tournament, struggling to win games. What's different about the team this year?
Qual a diferença que tem a equipa em relação ao ano passado?
Portanto, a diferença é muita, mesmo em termos de plantel. Temos jogadoras novas e também em termos de competitividade, o ritmo, né? Portanto, na época passada vínhamos em 2 épocas a competir, e este ano já é diferente. Competimos ano passado, mesmo este ano estamos a vir já com uma bagagem de jogos. Portanto, a diferença é tanta a partir do plantel e no próprio ritmo competitivo em termos de jogo.
Yeah, he say the coaches say have new players now, have more new players, because last year I don't have any competition in Mozambique for the offices, the 2 offices in for COVID-19, and then now we have more players. I have another I have another attitude. How can do.
And one of your key players that I see is not on the team sheet, Sidalia Kuta. Can you tell us a little bit about where she is now, if she's not part of the team?
A cidade está onde agora? Onde que ela está é uma das jogadoras muito preponderante. Onde que ela está agora? Era considerada a jogadora mais preponderante. Agora ela não está. Onde que ela está? E como é que nós vamos nos abordar perante essa situação?
Pronto, ela teve outro rumo, né? Está a jogar no campeonato tanzaniano e nós nos preparamos. Sabíamos que a qualquer momento iríamos perder a cidade por nível que ela tem. É claro que é uma jogadora que para nós era preponderante, não vamos negar isso, que não é fácil substituir uma cidade, mas estamos preparados, recebemos outras. Em termos de equipa, estamos mais adultos. Em termos individual faz falta, mas em termos de equipa, estamos mais adultos em relação à época passada. É nesse sentido que nós vamos tentar superar como equipa, vamos tentar superar a ausência dela.
Yeah, Sidal is playing in Tanzania now. We are losing some for the best player for us, and then we have another player, so we have recruit another player for another team. So we have our youth league. I have a youth league in Mozambique. For team, we are losing the capital player, and then we have a strong team.
Obrigado, coach.
Okay, obrigado.
Yeah.
Coach, appreciate your time. Now, when you look at the first edition that the team was part of last year, it was your first time, and the team really struggled to pick up important wins. What's different about the team this year?
The importance is that we've added some new players that will make us go through.
Let's talk about those 4 new players now who are part of Isquadzen, who don't really have the experience at Champions League. How are you looking to integrate them in the experience of some of the players that you've had since?
As much as they don't have the experience of the CAF Champions League, they do have experience of playing to Cosafa Champions League. So they will add the value to our team. Yes.
And let's talk about now preparations ahead of today's game. I'm sure you watched some of the games from yesterday. How was just the preparations and just getting the team ready?
We prepared very well and the team is ready. We have seen the games yesterday. They are tough and there is competition actually. So we have come here to just give the other opponents competition.
Ngiyabonga, coach.
Ngiyabonga, Mrs.
So 9 new faces sit in Costa do Sol's bench with Coach Ishmael very, very comfortable with the new faces and some of the players that he's also had from last year coming in to do business today. But for Coach Fisiwe, 4 new players come into the Champions League today and will be donning the Young Buffaloes jersey. But for both these sides, it was their debut in 2022 and they did not win a single game. So today could be the day where they pick up their first 3 points of the Champions League qualifiers. Well, to take you through today is, of course, Sizwe Mapena. Let's get into it.
Day 2 of the 2023 CAF Women's Champions League Cosafa Qualifiers brings us back to the Sugar Ray Bullen Stadium for Group B action as Mozambique's Costa do Sol take on Young Buffaloes from Eswatini, with both looking for a winning start, keeping in mind we are yet to have a winner in this year's competition. All of yesterday's fixtures ended with a 1-1 scoreline. A winner today will be the first winner for this year's competition. So, and as far as the weather conditions, yeah, it's improved from yesterday where it was slightly windy. Today, not so much wind and the sun is out. It's much warmer as well, meaning we should have a lovely day of football ahead of us here in as far as the 2 matches we will have in store for you. The first, of course, seeing a side from Eswatini taking on one from Mozambique, with both these sides, that being Costa del Sol as well as young Buffaloes, having had an experience before in this tournament. They found it going tough. They are looking for a much improved showing in the way of the second attempt, if you will, to try and rub shoulders with the very best in the continent. So yesterday in day one, we had the likes of Lesotho Defence Force, Green Buffaloes, and Topa FC up against Double Action Ladies. As I mentioned earlier, all those matches ending with a 1-1 scoreline. So today we focus on Group B, which will have, well, a heavy hitter in Mamelodi Sundowns. They're in action later on in the day against Olympic de Moroni. Young Buffaloes up against Costa del Sol here. Sundowns may be seen as the favorite in this group, but the likes of Costa del Sol and Young Buffaloes, as well as Olympic de Moroni, would like to improve upon the showings of a year gone by, and like to ensure that they are competitive in trying to ensure they get top spot in the group, get themselves a semi-final berth, keeping in mind here that only one side will go through to represent the region, Southern Africa, that is the Cosafa region, out in Cote d'Ivoire come later this year, where all the winners from the different regions throughout the continent will battle to be crowned Africa's #1. Now, having a look at Costa del Sol, there are a good 4 or so internationals in the starting lineup. They will have, though, Makoncho out in the attacking area. She'll be the sharp end of the attack. In midfield, Chingoleze as well as Kazembe will look to ensure they take up the central midfield areas and take control of this game in that regard. Whilst in defence, Mancu will be hoping to, well, marshal that defence with Namir, another international in the starting lineup, standing between the sticks. For the young ladies from Eswatini, they will have a attack here that is led by Zinile, wearing the number 8 jersey, Zwane, that is. She will be hoping for an extremely good showing here going forward, and hoping to, of course, be amongst those to find the back of the net. They all will be looking for a much better showing than last time around. In midfield, Dlamini as well as Dube will be hoping to keep things nice and tight, whilst the combination of Ngozo and Sikonze in the heart of defence will like to shore things up and ensure that the goalkeeper Dlamini is rather well defended, or protected, I should say. Match referee Sunyating Tipi from Botswana, assisted by Apolloso Mapara from Lesotho, and the second assistant is Nengatetwa Olivia from Namibia. Fourth official is Tanya Duarte from Angola. Now Ismail Abdullah will be hoping to see his side here really get off to a good start, in the hope to be the first side to register a win in this year's tournament. Same can be said for Fisiwe Klope. One does get the impression that opening goal in these fixtures is also important. We saw sides yesterday go on to score, but they will be attacking the right of your picture will the young ladies from Eswatini, whilst for Costa del Sol, they will attack the left of your picture. Ended the half strong. The opening of the scoring came from the training ground. It's beautifully done. Lovely opportunity. And there you go. That's a well-worked set piece then, as Costa del Sol did the business here in some fashion. The weight of the pass here from Ponja, absolutely top-notch. A goal and an assist for Ponja. And, well, deserving lead here for Costa del Sol. They weren't done. Good hard running here going forward from Makono, beyond 1 second, defender coming across this late, and penalty for the challenge from Sikonse. And having got the assist earlier, Panja made it 2-0. They were cruising at that point, were Costa del Sol. Beautifully taken penalty, well away from the keeper, confidently done. And late in the first half, young Buffaloes got better and better as the half had fared in. Unlucky not to have scored then, but the ball is played back across. Palala. And to pull one back, an important goal just before the half-time break then, just what they needed before going off to face their coach. Keeper, they take some blame for that initial bit of mishandling, and then nothing wrong with the way young Buffaloes were able to create the opportunity here and pull one back for a strong closing to that first 45 minutes. So, Costa del Sol with close to 60% of the ball, and they've been that good in the early stages of the half. Young Buffaloes, one has to credit them. They never gave up on the match and got better in the latter stages, but shots on target certainly tell you a story. Well, so Young Buffaloes do have 3-1 less than Costa del Sol, and much better in the way of goal attempts for Young Buffaloes as well, as they are level with the opponent. So, those on the bench, we've seen a starting 11 that's been good from both sides here. The options are well and true for both coaches going into the second 45. Question, how many goals will he get going forward? I do suggest there may be more. Well, we are at the Sugar Ray Kulu Stadium here, Costa del Sol up against young Buffaloes in the 2023 CAF Women's Champions League Cosafa Qualifiers. Lively first half, 3 goals scored here. It is Costa del Sol to get things underway here in the second. Ladies in the yellow and blue from Mozambique will attack the right of your picture, while young Buffaloes from Eswatini will attack the left. Goal and an assist for Bunja in your picture in that first half. Lovely assist from the set piece. And her goal coming from the penalty spot. And Palala, the goal scorer for young Buffaloes. A goal that came late in that first half. Crucial for them, keeping them in the tie going into the second 45. Big question here is, will Costa del Sol be able to re-establish that 2-goal cushion, or will it be young Buffaloes to fight their way back into this tie and this group overall here, keeping in mind there are 2 more sides that are in the group. So the match referee Sunyating Tepe from Botswana getting the action underway here. Immediately Costa del Sol trying to get onto the front foot. Beautifully worked. Caught everyone off guard with that. And well, they made the intentions true. Tejanero eventually finding the back of the nets. The weight of that pass from Panja was on the money. One no, the scoreline at that point, nice and early in the opening 5 minutes. And how's this for good hard running from Mancho, the striker here? All on her own. Keep in mind, there's no teammates in sight, causing all sorts of problems. And in the end, Sikonze commits, finding nothing but opponents. No ball at all. Then easy call to make to the penalty spot. Panja with the assist finds another goal to add to the assist. A true captain's performance for her. They were to pull one back before the end of the first half, which made things interesting all the way through to the end here. Keeper in trouble in dealing with this. Lucky enough to have conceded then the pullback. And Napalala in a good position to pull one back and give us 3 goals, the highest scoring match so far for this year's competition. Superbly done. And well, in the end, it wasn't to be enough for young Buffaloes. They had other moments, but well needed to find the back of the net here. It's a losing start for them, but still a lot of positives for them to work through going forward here. They had more shots on target. They had the same number of goal attempts, young Buffaloes, although they had less of the ball then. That'll be encouraging when they look at that for Costa del Sol. Well, they'll be happy with the fact that they were able to convert more chances, but will certainly feel they are a side with more goals in them. But the more important thing is the positive early start, picking up the 3 points for the young ladies from Mozambique.
Well, I'm joined by the lady of the hour, Albertina Bonja, who is the captain of Costa del Sol. She walks away with the player of the match accolade. And to hand out the award is Mr. Menzi Ngobo, who's the senior football sponsorship coordinator for Hollywood Bets. Thank you so much, Mapoloba. Albertina, congratulations on winning the player of the match. How did you see today's game?
Como é que sentiste o jogo hoje?
Excuse me, can you just give her the microphone? Yes, thank you.
Primeiramente, agradecer a equipa pelo prêmio. Sem elas, não teria conseguido esse prêmio. E o jogo não estava muito difícil, mas também dificultamos, porque não conseguíamos manter a posse de bola. Mas graças a Deus conseguimos os 3 pontos e vamos avançar para o próximo jogo.
First of all, thank the team, thank the colleagues, thank Cosafa, thank everyone. And it's been a good tough game. And then for next game, we have to recover for next game.
Thank you so much, Captain. Obrigado. Thank you so much. And that is the captain, Albertina Bonja, who walks away with the player of the match accolade. And joining me now is her coach, Ismail Abdullah. Coach, how did you see today's game? The team finally gets their first 3 points of the Champions League.
Como é que viu os 3 pontos da qualificação da Champions League?
É muita emoção, portanto, viemos nesta fase para a procura dessa vitória. A primeira que pode nos motivar para ver se conseguimos passar para a outra fase da meia-final. Estamos muito felizes por isso, é fruto de um trabalho que estamos a realizar a nível do clube.
I'm so happy for that winning. We are our first winning, and then have to continue to work so much. And then this our first 3 points, and then the next game have to recover for next game.
Coach, you get the 2 early goals, including that penalty. Are you happy with how your team managed the game today?
Tiveste os 2 primeiros golos, deles de marcação de uma grande penalidade. Qual a estratégia usada para esse jogo?
Portanto, nós tentamos pressionar o adversário e ter a posse de bola. Na primeira parte nem conseguimos tanto fazer isso aí, talvez por algum nervosismo. Portanto, também as bolas paradas, se forem a ver, também foram uma das estratégias que trabalhamos, muitas bolas paradas, e conseguiu dar fruto logo no primeiro gol. Foi uma bola parada ensaiada.
I think our strategy to pressure our opponents, and then to try to score as much as possible, to try to make the good result before our first half, and then now it's just control a game.
Obrigado, Coach.
Okay, muito obrigado.
Coach Ismail Abdullah of Costa del Sol. Joining me now is Coach Fisiwe Hlope. Coach, how did you see today's game?
It wasn't a tough game. It's just that my players in the first half, the first 10 minutes, they didn't start well. They were afraid. I don't know whether they were having pressure
And coach, when you finally did get that equalizer, we started seeing your team more settled into the game, getting now more of those box entries, putting pressure on the defense at Costa do Sol. Do you think at that moment that fear had left them?
Yeah, after they have caused the goal, they started to play. Then after the defense of Mozambique, they just came back and sit at the back. So it makes us difficult to still going to score.
Coach, it's your first goal of the tournament.
Yeah, it's a first goal, and we're supposed to score more goals today. As we in the second half, we didn't start. We also started low, but we keep on pushing, and we got that chance in the last minute where we were supposed to bury it, but unfortunately, they didn't score.
Hard luck for the next game, coach.
Thank you very much.
Coach Fisiwe Hlophe of Young Buffaloes, and this is how things end. It is a day of a first today. Costa do Sol gets their first 3 points of the tournament, and Young Buffaloes gets their first goal ever in the Champions League qualifier. So it is really a day of first, but a good game from Costa do Sol, and that's how things now end in our opening fixture of Group B. But we are bringing you still more entertainment and more fixtures, as up next we will have Mamelodi Sundowns and Olympic de Maroni doing business here, and of course kickoff is at 3:30, but we will be back at 3:15 for our build-up. So we'll see you not bright and early, but we will see you later on in the afternoon for that build-up.